Hello, I'm Ghostefana and welcome to a brand new series, Behind the Character, deep diving into the lore, background and theories of iconic video game characters. I'm starting this series with Piper Wright from Fallout 4, as I'm currently replaying that game after the success of the most recent series on Amazon Prime. I'm not a YouTuber who's going to bug you throughout the video because I know how annoying that can be, so I'll just ask you now, if you do enjoy this video, please do hit subscribe. I'm only a small independent creator and my channel mostly consists of story recaps from video games, amongst other things just like this. Thank you. Let's go. Say hello to Piper Wright, a Diamond City resident and owner, writer and publisher of the newspaper Public Occurrences. The sole survivor first meets Piper at the gates of Diamond City in the year 2287, just as they are still defrosting. We're exposed to Piper's confrontational and sharp nature within the first encounter, as we learn she has been kicked out of Diamond City for suggesting the mayor is a synth. She ultimately gets back in with the help of the sole survivor. But where did Piper's story really begin? Well, Piper was born in a settlement just on the outskirts of the Commonwealth with her sister Nat, who lives with her in Diamond City, and her now deceased and unnamed father. Piper's father was murdered after discovering of a conspiracy by their settlement military leader, Captain Mayburn. Mayburn had made a deal with a group of raiders to leave the gates open for the settlement to be raided for a cut of the profits. Daddy Piper found out and was sadly killed by Mayburn. Initially, his death was a mystery, but a young Piper noticed the suspicious nature of it and began investigating, which in turn became her first foray into investigative journalism, something which would eventually become her career. After using a stealth boy to sneak into Captain Mayburn's office and learning of his crimes, Piper began printing flyers to spread word of his crimes after the local authorities refused to believe her. Eventually, her campaigning drew the attention of the settlement mayor, who subsequently had the claims investigated, which led to Captain Mayburn being proved guilty and exiled. The raiders later turned up expecting the gate to be open, only to be met with a fully prepared and armed settlement. With her father and mother dead, Piper raised Nat, although due to Nat's age, it proved a struggle. Eventually, Piper managed to raise enough money to move to Diamond City to seek a new life. When there, she found that just as challenging, as the city was rife with corruption. So Piper took it upon herself to spread awareness of this and challenge corruption, much like she did at her last settlement, which saw the birth of Public Occurrences. However, the nature of her work led to a dangerous life. One of her first works, exposing a caravan cartel, led to the cartel attempting to poison Piper while drinking in the Dugout Inn. She only survived by immediately downing a still of moonshine after realizing she had been poisoned, forcing her to vomit. In another investigative escapade, Piper was kidnapped by the children of Atom, but managed to talk her way out of becoming a human sacrifice by claiming that she saw a vision of Atom. Her blagging worked, so much so that Piper, in 2287, is technically a member of the Church of the Children of Atom. Despite the challenges and the often mocking comments of Diamond City residents, Public Occurrences did become popular, with it becoming famous around Diamond City and even known in surrounding areas of the Commonwealth. Over time, though, this would start to isolate Piper as she became seen as just a journalist, with many people reluctant to speak to her for fear of ending up in the paper. Piper's most ambitious piece was perhaps The Synthetic Truth, published in the year of the game's setting, 2287. This piece challenges the Commonwealth boogeyman, the Institute, and accuses the mayor of Diamond City, Mayor McDonough, of being a synth himself, although she has no evidence of this. As well as these accusations, it details the events of the Broken Mask incident, which took place in Diamond City in 2229. The event saw a new visitor visit Diamond City and begin to twitch in an unnatural way before slaughtering most of the central bar. Once killed by security, the corpse was revealed to be a human-looking synth, the first to be encountered on the surface. This event was detailed by the only surviving witness, Eustace Hawthorne, and highlighted further by Piper, which is why Diamond City is in such a state of paranoia surrounding the Institute, added to by the frequent disappearances of certain residents, including Charlie Fallon, husband of Becky. Therefore, naturally, when the sole survivor rolls into town with claims that their son has been taken, possibly by the Institute, Piper spotted her newest adventure. Personality-wise, Piper is strong, sassy, but ultimately lonely. Due to her career, she has alienated most residents in Diamond City, and although respected by some, such as Eustace Hawthorne, who gave her account of the broken mask incident for her paper, most people avoid Piper. The only person she really has a relationship besides Nat is Nick Valentine, which stems from a mutual respect of each other's investigative qualities. She is naturally very anti-Institute, and if a companion at the time, she will react negatively to most in-game pro-Institute choices made by the player. Despite this, she isn't necessarily anti-synth. In fact, she often sympathizes with the runaway ones and somewhat understands the Railroad's cause. She does, however, harbor a strong dislike for the Brotherhood of Steel, and in particular, Elder Maxson. She does, however, prefer siding with them than the Institute. When it comes to the sole survivor's approval ratings, she tends to favour kind-hearted actions, lock-picking unowned locks, and dislikes lying, but occasionally does enjoy sarcastic responses. Later in the game, a special quest proves Piper's theory about Mayor McDonough to be correct, revealing himself to be a synth and attempting to use his secretary, Geneva, as a hostage to attempt to flee, which Piper and the sole survivor can resolve in multiple ways. And that is a look at the background and story of Piper Wright. Where does she rank for you amongst other Fallout 4 characters? Let me know in the comments, and like I said at the start, if you did enjoy this video, then please do hit subscribe. Thank you.